So in 2020, when I started, we basically rebuilt everything. Our finances, everything we did, we rebuilt. We put in place a part-time dedicated marketing and communications person. We introduced strategic objectives, including improving our relationships, our brand awareness, and how we advocate and communicate what we're doing. She and I implemented a marketing and communications plan, despite everyone saying we didn't need it. We insisted that it get done. And it included KPIs around regularly engaging different audiences, from our clients and communities to our funders to other people. We were very fierce around how our work looked, how we presented our work, and even the tone of language. We want to present a strong, positive, professional, specialist position. We want to be recognised as a centre of excellence. So our work has to be presented in that way every time. And what we've done is we've regular posts on social media, quarterly newsletters to members and allies, involvement in, I counted before I left, 100 networking and advocacy groups, challenges. So one other thing I want to say is we have had to be very clear about who our audience is. Our audience for most of this is not the people we support. Our audience is professionals, allies, funders, politicians, and we have to be very clear. Communications to the people we serve, quite different in its style. This is about us pushing our agenda. We have focused a lot on engaging different communities through social media, so Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram, and we've taken a particular approach to this. So Instagram is for younger cohorts, reels, people like stories about children and young people and what's been achieved. Facebook is for an older group. LinkedIn is where we have seen such significant impact. It's been incredible. So we've worked really hard to raise our reputation in social media as well as in public places. What that's helped us to do is to raise our profile, and we are now invited to more consultations around policy strategy than I can really manage, which is a wonderful thing. So with ministers at the state and national level, we have a lot more opportunities than we had before.
So from 1993 to 2017, we depended on the government grants, which is highly corrupted. Almost like 40 to 50% of the grant goes towards corrupting them. Otherwise, we don't get the grant. In 2007, when we look back, what we have realized is 2016, we are not getting grants from 2014. So we are with a backlog of 2 years. So we waited for 1 year, struggled for 1 year, and then we developed a strategy. We don't want funding from government. We don't want. Let us build a local contribution strategy, and the local contributions has increased enormously.
Especially for the torture rehabilitation program, we have also some sort of, the advocacy component at the local level. Bringing this, the local government and the local authorities on board, and also make them a little bit more accountable on, the investing some money for the well-being of the survivors in the community is the sustainable approach, I think. And since last 1.5 years, together with the IRCT, we have been focusing on lots of, the advocacy events, and, sharing them about the data, sharing them about the evidence, how people are affecting, how people are, facing the challenges in their day-to-day lives, and then ask them to have some resources to be allocated from their program, from their resources. So it means This could be the way that to get the funds from the local authorities, though it's not very all the time very smooth journey. You have to do a lot of effort just to make the things happen. And we also did several meetings, several workshops, several interactions, and of course that they have always a kind of different priorities in their front. But we need to make a little bit more strategic why it's essential, and that we can make it from the data and evidence that we have collected on the ground. So that is one major thing that which TPO Nepal is doing. So I think it's a huge resources in this room right now, and we have a lot of learning. We have a lot of our cultural learning, indigenous learnings. So how we can collect all these sort of the best practices together and make of something which is sellable.
And I myself can talk a lot about hundreds of thousands of issues associated with the shrinking funding. The conventional donors are shifting, their priorities are shifting, their strategic plans are changed. This is basically established reality. It's not happening coincidentally or haphazardly. This is a strategic shift that is being brought at the donor levels, and we being the recipients have got no decisive power to influence or challenge the strategic realities that are being shifted. Now the question is that what we need to do. I would suggest that yes, we have to think about the alternate mechanisms. That do we have the plan B? And for the sake of that, we have to look at the alternate models. I can share some of the examples of the alternate models that needs to be taken into account, at least for the sake of having brainstorming. For example, one best model that is used in Asia is the BRAC model. BRAC is the world's biggest NGO working in Bangladesh. So right now the BRAC is using the hybrid model of resource mobilizations. There are some sort of thinking that since we are non-profit organizations, so we cannot generate a profit. But the fact of the matter is that if there are no funding, no resources available, what the hell we will do by being non-profit organizations when we don't even basically run our office or even hire a single person like that? We have to think about that what sort of alternate strategies, what sort of alternate mechanisms are there used all over the world to help us support.
The model we used, apart from taking funding from the donor agencies, the corporate social responsibility. We have got a very good hub of industries in our area, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the province we are working right now. So till from 2010 to 2020, the onset period of the COVID-19, we used to receive 20 to 25% of the funding from the industrialists. They were contributing to our programs and the activities. For example, jail-based running our non-formal schools, skill development centers, and providing medication to the our target groups. So this is also a very good model, I think, to involving the corporate sector. And I think we need to make good rapport with them. We need to develop a good relation with them and prove to show that how honestly we are working and how their funding is spending more honesty and transparently.
To approach with the corporates, what I found out is we shouldn't use the negative terminology, but use a positive terminology. When we address for one of the corporate to address gender-based violence or violence against women, they told, ma'am, the proposal is all perfect, but can you change the aim? Yeah, what is it? Tell me. He told that to make Vijayawada #1 safe city in India. Safe city. Changing from gender violence to safe city. So the activities remained same. Only the aim has changed and the title has changed.
The torture word itself, funding is not coming.
Yes.
So let us change the word.
Language matters a lot, terminology matters a lot.